A nation reeling from a monster typhoon has been struck again. Typhoon Bualoi, which slammed into the eastern Philippines overnight, has weakened into a severe tropical storm, but it continues to tear through island communities, destroying homes, flooding streets, and forcing the evacuation of hundreds of thousands. Officials confirmed at least 3 deaths. More than 400,000 people were evacuated from the flood and landslide-prone villages. Bualoi is the second strike in what has become a devastating 1-2 blow from the Pacific. In Manila, as a precaution, residents moved into evacuation centers.
We live just by the corner of the river, and it would be difficult when the water rises. When the flood surges, the floodwaters reach up to the 3rd floor of our homes and we would not be able to leave. I have 3 children and I don't want anything to happen to them. It's better to be ready and safe.
In Masbate City, power lines lay tangled in the streets. Houses stood roofless and debris piled high. Videos circulating online showed residents trudging through waist-deep water, while others used boats to navigate submerged neighbourhoods. In one church, there were evacuees who had taken shelter, and the storm ripped off the roof, hurling debris across pews. And residents say it was one of the strongest winds they had ever experienced, and several children were injured. Just before this, Super Typhoon Ragasa, one of the strongest storms of this year, carved a deadly path across Asia. Ragasa, which peaked with winds of 265 kilometers per hour, left at least 25 people dead in the northern Philippines and Taiwan, mostly from drowning.
My older sister is inside, so she was inside when it happened. And when the water receded, my sister didn't try to leave until the water reached her waist. So she died in the house because it was completely filled with mud and there was no way to get her out. We even called the police, but when by the time they arrived, everything completely flooded again, and there was no way to get her out.
It forced the evacuation of millions, shuttered airports and businesses across southeastern China and Hong Kong, and then weakened as it scraped across Vietnam. In Vietnam, though downgraded to a tropical depression, Ragasa continues to dump heavy rain, with officials warning of flash floods and landslides. Vietnamese Prime Minister has ordered the protection of hospitals, dams and fishing vessels, while flights were cancelled and workers trimmed trees to reduce hazards. The back-to-back storms highlight Asia's extraordinary vulnerability to climate-fueled disasters. The Philippines alone is hit by an average of 20 typhoons each year, and scientists warn that warming oceans are feeding storms that are not only stronger, but increasingly catastrophic. For millions from Luzon to Guangdong to Hanoi, the devastation of Ragasa has barely subsided. And yet, Bualoi has already ensured that the recovery will be longer, harder, and far more painful.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.